The federal government has reopened its investigation into the slaying of Emmett Till, a black teen whose brutal killing in Mississippi shocked the world more than 60 years ago. A Justice Department report to Congress says the agency is reinvestigating the 1955 slaying after receiving what it calls new information. The report doesn't describe any potential new evidence, but it follows the publication of a book that says the woman who accused Till of grabbing her acknowledged that she lied.